Welcome to our channel FIR Carbon Copy, the case that shook the entire world. Guys, please subscribe for more videos and update. Case number 8, Milwaukee Monster or Milwaukee Cannibal. On July 22nd, 1991, a man named Tracy Edwards ran into Milwaukee police officer on 25th Street. On a close look, Edward had handcuffs attached to his wrist, whereupon he explained to officer that a freak had placed him handcuffs. So Edward took officers to the place from where he ran for his life. When the officers and Edward reached the place, apartment 213, the owner of the apartment invited them in but did not respond on why he handcuffed Edward. So when the officers searched the apartment, they found a lot of Polaroid pictures, many of which was human bodies in various stage of dismemberment. When they opened the refrigerator, revealed the freshly served head of a black male on the bottom shelf, and in the kitchen they found 4 served skulls, human hearts, and a portion of a arm muscle, each wrapped in a plastic bag. Jeffrey Dahmer was born May 21st, 1960 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, the first of 2 sons of Joyce. Dahmer had been an energetic and happy child but became notably subdued after double hernia surgery shortly before his 4th birthday. From an early age, Dahmer manifested an interest in dead animals. His fascination with dead animals may have begun when at the age of 4. As he showed more interest, his father, Lionel, taught him how to preserve animal bones. When Dahmer reached puberty, he discovered that he was gay. He did not tell this to a soul. When he was about 16, Dahmer conceived a fantasy rendering unconscious a particular male jogger he found attractive and then making sexual use of his body. This was his first thought of attacking someone. In May 1978, Dahmer graduated from high school. He got addicted to drinking alcohol because of his parents getting divorced. Dahmer committed his first murder in 1978, 3 weeks after his graduation. At the time, he was living alone at his family home. On June 18, 1978, he picked up a hitchhiker named Steve Mark Hicks, who was almost 19 years. Dahmer lured the young to his house on the pretext of drinking. Hicks agreed to accompany Dahmer to his house for a few beers. When Hicks wanted to leave, Dahmer hit Hicks with 10-pound dumbbell, and when Hicks fell unconscious, Dahmer strangled him to death, then stripped clothes from Hicks' body before exploring his chest with his hands, then masturbating as stood above the dead body. Then dissected Hicks' body in the basement. Later he buried remains in a shallow grave in the backyard. Several weeks later, he unearthed the remains and peeled the flesh from bones. He dissolved the flesh in acid before flushing the solution down the toilet. He crushed the bones with a sledgehammer. He scattered them in the woodland behind the family home. In Jan 1979, on his father's urging, Dahmer enlisted in the United States Army, where he trained as a medical specialist at Fort Sam Houston in San Antonio, Texas. On July 13, 1979, he was deployed to Baumholder, West Germany, where he was served as a combat medic in 2nd Battalion 68th Armed Regiment 18th Infantry Division. In March 1981, he was deemed unsuitable for military service and later discharged from army from his alcoholic abuse. To get him out of his alcoholic habits, his father sent him to his grandmother's house, who was the only family member to whom he displayed affection. Initially, Dahmer's living arrangement with his grandmother were harmonious. He accompanied her to church. As the day went by, he started to change, started visiting gay bars and bath houses. He was even arrested a couple of times for masturbating in public. On November 20th, 1987, he met a 25-year-old Steve Tommy from Michigan at a bar and pursued him to return to his hotel where he had already booked a room. Dahmer claimed he never intended to kill Tommy, but rather intended to simply drug him and lie beside him as he explored his body. Following morning, when he woke up, he saw Tommy lying beneath him on the bed, his chest crusted black and blue with bruises. Blood was also dripping through Tommy's mouth. To dispose Tommy's body, Dahmer purchased a large suitcase in which he transported the body to his grandmother's residence. Within 2 hours, he chopped the body into small pieces and disposed all of Tommy's remaining except the severed head. He boiled the head in a mixture of Soilex and then bleached to retain the skull, which used as stimuli for masturbation. Eventually, the skull was rendered to brittle by the bleach process. So he disposed the skull after his second successful kill. He actively seek victims, most of whom he encountered in or close to gay bars. He typically lured them to his grandma's home, drugged the victims before or shortly after engaging in sexual activities, and then strangled them to death. 2 months after Tommy killing, Dahmer met a Native American male prostitute named James. He lured him to offer $50 to pose for a nude picture. After sexual encounter, he drugged James and strangled him. He dismembering as same as Tommy's body. On March 24, 1988, Dahmer met a 22-year-old bisexual man named Richard Guerrero outside the gay bar. Again, he lured him to his grandmother's place, saying $50 to simply spend the night with him. He drugged Guerrero and strangled him with a leather strap. After performing oral sex with the dead body and chopped it into pieces, within 24 hours, he disposed the remains. On 23rd April, Dahmer lured another young man to his house after he drugged the victim. He heard his grandmother's call and happened to see both of them. So Dahmer opted not to kill the victim. Dahmer's grandmother was fed up with his drinking habits and bringing young men to her house late at night and foul smell from garage and basement. She asked him to move out. 2 days after moving into his apartment at 808 North 24th Street, he was arrested for drugging and sexual fondling a 13-year-old boy who he lured to his home. On the pretext of posing nude for photograph, Dahmer's father hired an attorney. Dahmer went through a severe series of psychological evaluation. On Jan 30th, 1989, Dahmer pleaded guilty to the charges of second-degree sexual assault and of inciting a child for immoral purpose. 2 months after his conviction and 2 months prior to his sentencing for the sexual assault, Dahmer murdered his fifth victim, a mixed-race 24-year-old aspiring model named Anthony Sears, who he met at a gay bar on March 25, 1989. Dahmer lured Sears to his grandmother's home, where the pair engaged in oral sex before Dahmer drugged and strangled Sears. On May 23, 1989, Dahmer was sentenced for 5 years probation and 1 year in the House of Correction. He was also registered in sex offender list for the assault case. 2 months before scheduled release from the work camp, Dahmer was paroled from his regime. On May 14, 1990, Dahmer moved into 924 North 25th Street, apartment 213. Within a week, he had killed his sixth victim, Raymond Smith, 32, a prostitute, whom again Dahmer lured to apartment promising $50 for sex. He drugged Smith and strangled him. Less than 3 months after Smith's death, he killed a 22-year-old Chicago native named Ernest Miller. After 3 weeks of Miller's death, on September 24th, he killed 24-year-old David Thomas. Following the murder of Thomas, Dahmer did not kill anyone for almost 5 months. On Feb 1991, he killed 17-year-old named Curtis Stockter. Less than 2 months later, on April 7th, Dahmer killed Errol Linsley. On May 26, 1991 afternoon, he brought 14-year-old named Corneck to his place, where 3 days before he had killed Tony Hughes. But luckily, Corneck escaped from Dahmer's ideas. On June 30th, Dahmer traveled to Chicago, where he met 20-year-old Matt Turner, lured him to Milwaukee and killed him, injecting boiling water through his skull, sending him into a coma, for which he died within 2 days. On July 15th, Dahmer killed 24-year-old Oliver Lacey, and 19th July he killed 25-year-old Joseph Bradhoff. Finally, after the arrest, Dahmer confessed to having murdered 16 young guys since 1987. On July 25, 1991, Dahmer was charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder. August 22nd, he was charged with 11 murders. Jan 13, 1992, Dahmer pled guilty but insane to 15 counts of murder. Dahmer was sentenced to life imprisonment, 16 life terms, that is equivalent to 941 years in prison. But unfortunately, on November 28, 1994, Dahmer died because of assault in the prison by his cellmates. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more updates and videos.